Cancer, also called malignancy, is an abnormal growth of cells. There are more than 100 types of cancer, including breast cancer, skin cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer, prostate, and lymphoma. More than 10 million people around the world die each year from cancer. Experts project cancer deaths to rise to 13 million by 2020 if we do not act now. World Cancer Day aims to save millions of preventable deaths each year by raising awareness and education about cancer. At MediCircle, we are conducting an exclusive interview series on the occasion of World Cancer Day, showcasing eminent oncologists over a discussion to bring awareness about cancer, its treatments, and myths related to it. I'm Smita Kumar, your host for the talk show today, and our guest for the talk is Dr. Suversha Khanna. Dr. Khanna is the president at Dharmashila Hospital and Research Center. She's a certified accessor for National Accreditation Body for Hospital and Healthcare Provider NABH accreditation. After actively practicing pediatrics for 23 years, Dr. Suvesha set up an NGO in 1990 and started the Dharmashila Hospital and Research Center in 1994 with a vision to fight and win the battle against cancer. She has brought DHRC from a humble beginning to a pioneering cancer hospital of India. Welcome, Dr. Khanna. Welcome to MediCircle.
Grateful to you for giving me this opportunity to share our views on cancer with you and with the general public.
Yes, sure. Thanks, Dr. Khanna, for joining us. To begin with, there are three most common types of cancers in India, like the breast cancer, cervical cancer, and oral cancer. So, in your views, are they curable? And if yes, how?
Definitely. All these three cancers are curable, but you have to detect them early, treat them promptly with protocol which are kind of internationally approved and nationally approved. We have, you see, treatment guidelines which are internationally and nationally approved treatment guidelines. And the treatment which is given has to be perfect. Comprehensive cancer care has to be given. So the key point again is early detection and prompt treatment at good centers. That means you're not doing any under treatment, you're not doing any over treatment, you're doing the evidence-based medicine. That, and you can kind of cure them. Now, your next question is, how do you cure them? That's your next question. As I told you, the mantra for cancer cure is early detection. If you detect them early, you will definitely cure them. And to detect them early, what is being done by us at Dharamshila? We are making the public aware about their chances of getting cancer. We are doing it by public lectures, and these days, of course, the web series are being done. And for example, tomorrow on 4th, we have 4 of them with 4 different institutions, you see. So we are going head on to make the public aware about their chances of getting cancer. Not only that, we offer them a cancer screening clinic at the hospital, which is free of cost, which means anybody can come and get their cancer screening done at an early stage. Even a pre-cancer stage, we can kind of detect cancer. And people who cannot come to the hospital, we have a bus which is fitted with a mammography machine, which has facilities for taking pap smear, facilities for detecting oral cancer and prostate cancer. So we take that bus outside. We were doing it pre-COVID, but luckily the COVID is now settling down, and hopefully we'll be back on the road a little while. Now, this is about prevention, primary prevention, secondary prevention. Now, coming to the treatment part. Now, how do we treat cancers, you see? Now, let's take these cancers one by one. Let's take, for example, the cancer of the cervix. Now, all sexually active women above the age of 25 years, we advise them to come for an annual pap smear. And pap smear is such an important and such a precious test for all of us, because it can detect cancer cervix 10 years before it is going to show, 5 years before it is going to show, 3 years before it is going to show. So you can detect with pap smear a precancerous condition. Now you tell the woman, you want to have children, go ahead. You have a window of 5 years or 6 years, have as many children as possible. Finally, your uterus will go. But the condition is that you have to come for follow-up religiously. When the gynecologist tell you to come after 6 months or 9 months or 1 year, you have to come, because that will vary on the test result, the pap smear results it will have.
Sure.
The minute the precancerous cell starts turning into a cancerous cell, then we tell them, yes, now you require a surgery. Let's get this cervix out. Now, see the beauty of this test, that you can detect cancer at a precancer stage and then you cure it. Now, you are only doing a surgery. Patient doesn't need radiation. Patient doesn't need any chemotherapy. As simple as that. Now we come to the breast cancer. Now we tell, when we go for the cancer awareness lecture, we tell them about the risk factors of getting cancer, because some of the breast cancers are genetic. The nanny, the mother, the sister, elder sister, Mausy's daughter, the first cousin. If any one of them have cancer, then they have to be more careful, and we teach them self-breast examination. By doing self-breast examination, 10% of the women can detect cancer. They can suspect cancer. They cannot detect it, they can suspect it. And when they come to us with a lump, we confirm it whether it is cancer or not cancer, because some of the lumps can be precancer, benign also. Now, if these lumps are less than 4 centimeter, and then we do the staging workup, that the stage is yes, first and only, and it is not gone beyond it. We give them the option. You want a lumpectomy, which means we'll just remove the lump and about a centimeter area around the lump and leave the breast alone. But this will be followed by radiation. Or you can opt for total mastectomy followed by hormonal therapy if you don't want the radiation. The woman is cured. The woman is cured. It's as simple as that. But if you don't detect them early, then you cannot cure it. Now coming to the oral cancer. Now oral cancer, again, we tell the people to do self-examination, monthly self-examination. Open your mouth. Look in the oral mucosa, inside of your mouth, inside of the cheek, you see for any changes. It can be a red patch, a white patch, a brown patch, a blackish patch, a bleeding from the gum or anything, you see, a tooth which is piercing into the cheek or something. And if we see a kind of one of these things, then we test it and see. Now we call it a leukoplakia, white patch. Now leukoplakia is a precancerous condition. Now you do the biopsy. If it is precancerous, all you have to do is a laser treatment, OPD procedure, couple of thousands, and you are okay. You are cured of it. But even if it is stage 1, we can cure it with surgery followed by radiation or whatever else is required depending on the condition of the patient. So all these 3 cancers that you talked about, we can cure them, but if they come at a late stage, cures are not possible. Cures are not possible.
So, Dr. Khanna, whole genome sequencing of tumor cells could help predict the prognosis of a patient's cancer and offer clues to identify the most effective treatment, and suggests that this is suggested by an international study. So, in other words, genomics is providing insights into how an individual's cancer might progress and its likely response to the treatment. So, but again, it is how much cost effective, what are the cost implications, and what are your views on this?
Whenever something new comes, we are talking about genome for last 20 years. Last 20 years, we are talking about genome. Finally, the genome testing, you see, is now available in our country. The first question is it cost effective or not? At the onset, I will say yes and no. Why yes and why no? I'll come to it. Now, depending on the genome sequencing of which tumor you want to get it done. The rates are 30,000 to 60,000. Now, we have no choice. We have no choice. Legally, we are bound to tell the people what all they can do. Supposing a person has exhausted all his options for cancer treatment, and he comes to you in a fourth stage. Okay. Now, I can give, should not take names, but I can tell you 5 patients recently who came to our follow-up, and we have a kind of a cancer survivors day. We celebrate the cancer survivor day also.
Okay.
5 of the patients who were told that you are not going to make it for more than 6 months or 1 year. When they came to us, luckily they could afford this test, and we said the only hope is that we get this genome testing done for you, sequencing done. Maybe, we are not assuring you, maybe there will be some hope. Now, all these patients you see 6 years ago, 7 years ago, or 8 years ago, they opted for it. They opted for it. We were lucky, they were lucky. We could find the new modalities which could kind of attack the kill their cancer, and they have survived for more than 5 years. And that kind of, now you tell me whether it is affordable or not affordable, should be. So we don't talk about the affordability at such time, whether it should be done or not done. But then again, it's your luck and your my luck, you see. The people who are lucky will go in for it
Yes.
from wherever they get the money, and people who are not lucky, the only thing is, only we offer to anybody that comes to us, but only 1% of the people kind of opt for it. Why? Because all government schemes are not going to reimburse it.
Yes.
And the people you see who are from the lower income status or even the middle class people, they've already exhausted their resources
Yes.
in the treatment. And now they have accepted, I have to go, I have to go. ये डॉक्टर पागल बना रहे हैं बिना मतलब के ये भी कराओ वो भी करा कराए, and then they go back. So no, whether it is now, that is why the answer is yes and no.
Dr. Khanna, one more question on the number of cancer cases increasing in India. Like with the passing years, there has been an increase in the number of cancer cases substantially. According to a study in India, with a population of 1.35 billion, witnessed as many as 1.16 million new cancer cases and 7,84,800 cancer deaths in 2018. So, what are the reasons and how they can be controlled?
You see, coming to the reason, I think we, the population, the society, are responsible for increasing the incidence of cancer. How? We are adopting unhealthy lifestyle.
Yes.
We are living in a very, very polluted environment, be it our air, be it our soil, be it our water. All three are polluted, very badly polluted. Then there are infections, you see. There are hepatitis B causes cancer, hepatitis C causes cancer, HIV causes cancer, HPV causes cancer. Now, some of the diseases are sexually transmitted. So you go in for multiple sexual partners, you see. So then there is longevity is increasing. You see, we have more and more people living for more and more years, including me, who's 77 years old, you see. So if it was 1947, they would have said you should have been gone and dead long, long ago. So these are the reasons that this is happening. But then how do we kind of make sure that we bring down the incidence of cancer? 30 to 50% of the cancers can be prevented. 30 to 50% of cancer can be prevented. It's not difficult at all. It is not difficult at all. It is only our mindset. We have to make up our mind. We don't want to get cancer. We don't want to cancer. What do we have to do? The primary prevention and the secondary prevention. What is primary prevention? Primary prevention is I should not get the disease at all. What do I do? Adopt healthy lifestyles. That means no tobacco, no alcohol, no multiple sexual partners, a very kind of healthy diet, which is preferably vegetarian, whole grains, cereals, what do you call it, pulses, fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, plenty of them, and nuts. I avoid processed food. I avoid preserved foods. I avoid excess fat. I don't gain weight. I am active. So these are the steps that I have to do to make it a healthy lifestyle. Now, this by doing this, I will not get cancer. I mean, if I'm not genetically prone to it. If I'm genetically prone to it, then we call it to the secondary prevention. What is secondary prevention now? Secondary prevention is that even if the cancer has started in my body, like if cancer starts in my body today, it is not going to manifest tomorrow or day after. It may take years to manifest it. That means I'm in a pre-cancer stage. So what do? I do monthly self-examination. And details of how to do a monthly self-examination are available on our website. Okay. Now, by 10% of the cancers can be detected by the person himself or herself by monthly self-examination. So you come to the doctor that this is the lesion, this is what I'm suspecting. Doctor will say, no, it is not there or it is there. For example, it is suspected. What do? We do a diagnostic workup, complete, find out the stage of the disease. And it is either a precancerous or a cancer stage. And the person gets kind of cured. And cancer can, like I told you earlier. So what do we do at Dharamshala Cancer Hospital? We have a cancer screening OPD. We do lot of webinars and cancer awareness lectures to make the public aware about the facilities for free cancer detection at our center. And we tell them about their risk factors and what to do and what not to do. Now, to give you an example, my brother is a prostate cancer patient. So he came for a follow-up. It is 15 years ago or 16 years ago, he got cured. Now my bhabi and brother both came for his follow-up. And I told my, you see, secretary, कि भाभी का भी जरा इनकी मैमोग्राफी करवा देना. भाभी said, नहीं मैं ठीक हूँ, मेरे को कुछ नहीं कराना. So we pushed her and we detected a 2-centimeter lesion. Removed the lesion the next day. Almost 2 years, she's hale and hearty. So that is what the early detection means. Give you an exact example. One of our gynecologists who was heading this program for cancer screening. So I told my resident कि मैडम को बोलो कि उसका भी पैप स्मेयर हो जाना चाहिए. And madam said, मेरे को कोई जरूरत नहीं, मैं ठीक ठाक, मुझे कुछ नहीं है, मेरे को कुछ जरूरत नहीं. 2 days, madam kept on saying that. Then we finally pushed her, and we detected a precancerous lesion for her. She got her hysterectomy there and then next day. She didn't wait कि ये precancerous को मैं cancerous होने, because she knows कि I don't have time to wait. So this is the beauty of doing, you see, the cancer screening clinic. And then we have a bus also, as I told you, we take it to the community. And the bus has all the facilities for cancer detection. So if you do this, we can definitely decrease the incidence of cancer.
I think because early screening and detection can definitely help cancer patients to combat this disease. So one quick question from Dr. Khanna. This post-COVID world, because as COVID is a little bit, I mean, the numbers are going down. So, but again, everybody has become extremely health conscious. Most of the people are now taking yogas, exercises, meditation, health. They have incorporated healthy diet, and health has become our priority. So what, according to you, are the necessary changes that can help an individual to lead and afford a healthy life?
The most important mantra again is to change your attitude. Now, when we talk about most people, these most people are in the urban areas.
Yes.
These most people are educated people. But then if you go to the rural area, they don't know. They don't know. So you have to reach them. You have to make them aware that anyone can get any disease at any time. नश्वर कोई नहीं है, आत्मा नश्वर है, but शरीर नश्वर नहीं है. So we have to get that done as early as possible, and we have no choice but to change our lifestyles, like many people are doing these days. Like you say, diet, tobacco, alcohol, infection, vaccinations, use of mask. Now, let me give you an example. I used to get 2 to 3 attacks of asthma. Anybody in my office gets cold, I get cold, and then I go into the asthma, and that lasts for 1 month. Now, the use of mask in this 1 year, I haven't got a single attack of asthma. I haven't got single cold. Nobody in our office got cold. So, if you are protecting yourself, and I have made it a point, I'm going to wear the mask lifetime. I don't want to fall sick. So the mask is saving you from many respiratory infections. And if you go to the hospitals also, the rate of infections have gone down. But on the other side, when you compare the deaths caused by COVID and the deaths caused by cancer, 3 times. The incidence of death in the cancer has increased 3 times in this period. Why? People never came for the early detection. And people who were detected, early detected, they required surgery. They sat back home, COVID हो जाएगा, surgery नहीं कराते. कीमो जिसकी शुरू हुई थी 2 साइकिल, घर बैठ के कीमो नहीं कराई. Radiation, people had started, they said start. The stage 1 became stage 2, 2 became 3, and 3 became 4, and we lost those patients. So people have to be aware that COVID is not going to kill as much as the cancer is going to kill. So COVID or no COVID, people have to get their cancer screening done. Why cancer screening only? There are other diseases also. There are annual health checkups, which will kind of detect your any problem in your heart, lungs, kidney, liver, any part of the body. So people should get an annual health checkup, and that they should make it a routine. यार बर्थडे की पार्टी मनाओगे, एनिवर्सरी की पार्टी मनाओगे, पता नहीं कितनी पार्टीज मनाओगे, एक 5,000 रुपया खर्च करने में आपको क्यों तकलीफ होती है? Annual health checkup will cost you only 5,000 rupees and will save you lakhs and lakhs of rupees. God forbid, if some disease is there. Why only cancer? There are other diseases also.
So thank you so much, Dr. Khanna, for sharing this significant information about cancer with our viewers today. I think the good work which Dharamshila Cancer Hospital is doing, especially the bus service which you are actually providing to the patients who are not able to travel to the hospital and get themselves treated, it is really a great and a noble work. And as a dedicated media portal, even we are trying through these initiatives that we are able to educate and aware as much as people about the rising number of breast cancer, I mean, all types of cancers, especially breast cancer. As you just explained beautifully, how a simple test like pap smear can, I mean, help women like us to, I mean, get these cancer detection tests prevented. And suppose if, like, because most of the women, they don't go for any such kind of a test, as you just explained, that even team people from your team who were heading these kind of programs, even they were not having this test done. But yes, once it was done, I mean, as you, and it was like God sent, that you suggested them this test, and their lives were saved. So I think early detection and screening is the key to save millions of
Absolutely.
lives, and even control on pollution, because as you mentioned, that pollution is one of the contributing factors causing cancer. Even in our health budget, Indian government is spending a lot of money just on to prevent air, water, and other kinds of pollution, as it is also one of the biggest reasons for causing of so many of diseases. Once
You
again,
see the
yes.
lung cancer rates in the last 3 decades are going spirally up
Yes.
thanks to pollution.
So we need to
So
clean our environment, definitely.
yeah, you have to do something about it.
So once again, thanks, Dr. Khanna, for your time. And we are really
Thank you.
privileged to have this information in such a beautiful and simple way from you.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.